Hello everyone, I'm Sunil. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel Tech Basics. In the previous video, we have completed some of the exercises over there wherein we have seen how do we write a program to display something on the output device using your cout statement. So we'll try to complete the rest wherein we have to accept the name and we have to display, we have to accept the name, we have to accept the address, phone number, and then we have to display this. So let's try to solve these particular exercises. Go to our software repl.it and then you try to write the code over there. So these two lines that we said in the last class, last video, like IO stream, include IO stream, and then using namespace is going to remain for all the program that we are going to write in C++ and so on. So then we'll try to write a program to accept name, address, phone number, and we'll try to display. So when you want to accept these values, then you are supposed to declare them. So as we know, when you talk about name, you are supposed to accept the characters. So I will declare name as character name of 20. It means that you are going to accept a name which can be maximum of 20 characters over there. Minimum it can take 1 character and maximum it can take 20 characters. In the similar way, when you talk about address, you can declare address of 50, which means that you can have an address which can be minimum of 1 character and maximum of 50 characters and so on. Similarly, phone number. When you talk about phone number, you can say phone number of 10, which means you can have a phone number maximum of 10 characters and so on. Phone numbers, though they are digits, I'm taking it as character because with the help of phone numbers or using phone numbers, we are not going to perform any arithmetic operations. So wherever you feel that you are not going to perform any arithmetic operations, you can better declare it as character. Example, phone number, pin code, and so on. You can always declare it as character as you are not going to perform any kind of arithmetic operations with this particular input or with this particular variables and so on. So once you declare all the variables, then what is that you need to do is you are supposed to accept the data for this. Like you can say now C in name, C in address, and then you can say C in phone number. So this is how you can accept the data, and later you can display the data in this fashion. Cout name, cout address, cout phone number, and so on. That completes your program. But when you write a program in this fashion, you find some disadvantage with this program. Just see this. If I run the program now, the program will execute over there and it will give you a blank output over there. And it will not prompt you to do something. So now, as a user, you should guide as a programmer, you should guide the user what is that user has to enter first, next, and so on. So our program is not doing that. Because we have written the program, we know that we have to enter the name first, then we are supposed to enter the name, then you are supposed to enter the address over there, then you are supposed to enter some phone number over there, and so on. So you can enter like this. So as you have done it, you know, and then you are going to get the output in that fashion. So neither the input to be taken from the user is clear, nor the output that we are giving to the user is clear. So what is that we need to do is, whenever you accept some data from the user, or whenever we want to accept some data from the user, you should guide the user by giving or prompting a message saying enter name, address, and phone number. You can tell the user in this fashion. So when you prompt the user to enter this, then user will have a clarity what is that he has to enter first, next, and so on. And when you display, your output should also give clarity, wherein you can say now your output in this fashion. You can say name equals to name, and then after printing the name, you say endl, and then you can say cout address given is ADDR. After that, you can again say endl, and then you can say cout, phone number given. So you can write it in this fashion. So what is that I'm trying to say over here is, whenever you are going to accept the values for different variables in your program from the user, you need to prompt the user at the beginning saying enter name, enter address, enter phone number. So user will have a clarity that he has to enter the name first, address next, and the phone number. If you are not going to give this, user may give the data in whatever fashion he likes. Thereby you may commit some error while you calculate and display the data. And when you try to display the data, it should be very clear to the user what kind of information we are passing or giving back to the user. Now, if you run this particular program, now this program guides the user that you have to enter the name first, address next, and the phone number. So I'll try to do this now. So I'll enter the name, address, and some phone number I'll enter over there. Then your program will give a clear output saying your name given is this, your address is this, and your phone number is this, and so on. So try to display the output in a proper way. Try to accept the data from the user in a proper way. That means guide the user properly to provide the input and give the information to the user in a proper way so that he clearly understands the information that we are displaying, and so on. We'll then try to go with the next exercise over there, wherein here we have to accept a program to we have to write a program to accept the marks of a student in 3 different subjects, and you want to display the total average marks and so on. So that there we are going to write a program wherein you are supposed to accept something, calculate something, and you want to display something. In the previous program, what we have seen is how is that we are going to declare the variables and then accept the data and display the data. Now what you are going to do is, you are supposed to declare the variable, you are supposed to accept the data, you are supposed to calculate something, and you are supposed to display something over there. So what is that you want to do here? You want to write a program. I will just write here program to accept 3 subject marks and display total comma average. So this is a comment line that I want to write. So I can write it on the top anywhere in my program with the help of a prefix as // So when I say // and write the statement over there, it is treated as comment. You can as well write like this /* and then you can close at the end by saying */ and so on. So either of these you can make use of in order to make a comment line. So this will only tell us what the program is all about without you going through the entire program. Yeah. So now you want to accept here 3 subject marks and you want to calculate the total and you want to calculate the average. So how is that we are going to do this? 3 subject marks, you can take them as integer values or you can take them as float values, and then you can declare the variables as M1, M2, M3, or you can take the subject name as mathematics, physics, chemistry, computers, whatever subject name you like over there. And because the marks are integer, then you can declare your total also as integer over there. But now when it comes to average, you can average is something wherein you are going to perform the division. So what you can do is average, you can always take it as a float value. So your marks can be taken as integer or float. If your marks are a float, you take the total also as float. If your marks are integer, take the total also as integer. But definitely you are supposed to declare the average as float, because when you perform division, there is every chance that your result may be in fractions. So better declare average as float. Now what is that you do? You guide the user to enter. You give a proper message to the user. Enter 3 subjects marks. Enter 3 subject marks. Okay, you can use endl and then you can accept the marks in this fashion. C in M1, C in M2, C in M3 and so on. So once you get the marks, then what is that next you are going to do is you are going to calculate the total. So how is that we calculate the total, wherein you say M1 plus M2 plus M3. So this is how you are going to calculate the total marks, and then you try to calculate the average. Average equals to, you can say, total divided by 3 and so on. So whatever data you have accepted, whatever you have calculated, try to display it back to the user in this fashion. So you can say to the user marks 1 equals to M1. You can give the message to the user saying marks 1 equals to, I need to close here. Then you say marks 2 equals to M2. Then you can give a message to the user marks 3 equals to M3 and so on. Then you try to display what you have calculated. That is nothing but the total and the average. So you can say total marks equals to, you can tell the user it is TOT, and then you can say average marks equals to AVG. Okay, so this is how you can give the output to the user. Now see, when you run the program, your program clearly guides the user what he has to do. So give 3 subject marks over there. Just a minute, connectivity. Give 3 subject marks over there. Yeah, the first subject I have given it as 0. I will execute it again. I should give first subject marks, the second subject marks, and the third subject marks. So then it will give me all the marks that I have given along with the total, along with the average. So 240 by 3, average is going to be 80, and this is perfect. But if I go in this fashion wherein I will say 91, 81, and then if I say 70, then my total is going to be 242, but my average has to be 80 point something over there, 80.666 something I need to get. But here I get it as only 80. That is because, why is that we are getting here the average as 80? Because we declared average as float. But when you are calculating average, you are performing an integer division over there. Your numerator over here is integer, denominator is integer. So you are going to get average as integer value only. So what is that you can do for that is, you can make either the numerator or the denominator as a float value. So I will make here the denominator as 3.0. Now when you execute here, you give 91, 81, 70. Then you will see that your total is 242. Now the average is 80.6667 and so on. So though you declare average as a float value, that is a float data type, your result may not come in a float. Reason for that is, when you perform the division, you need to see that either the numerator or the denominator is a float value. Then only you get the output in this fashion, which is precisely correct and so on. The next program that you want is, you want to accept, I will just copy this. We'll paste it over here. What the program we want to do there? We want to write a program here wherein you want to accept the item name, rate, quantity. You want to calculate the bill over there, and you want to calculate the discount. The discount value over here given is 20% on the bill. So let's try to solve this. So what are the variables that we need to declare? You want to accept the item name. As we know name, we will take characters. So I will declare it as name of 20 characters, comma, rate. Rate can be 5 rupees 50 paisa. So I will declare it as a float value. Quantity can be 5.5 kg. So I will declare it as float. And then bill definitely will be float value followed by discount, which is going to be float. So you can take rate as a float, quantity as float, bill definitely goes as float along with the discount. So this is how you need to perform the declaration. Then guide the user. What is that user has to enter? So you can tell the user enter item name followed by the rate followed by the quantity. So accept the data from the user now by saying C in I name. You can say rate, you can say quantity. So accept the data that you want. Calculate. What is that you have to calculate now? You have to calculate the bill. How is that we are going to calculate the bill now? Bill equals to the rate that you have accepted with the quantity. To calculate the bill, and then you are supposed to calculate the discount, which is given as 20% on the bill. So discount equals to, you will say bill multiplied by zero point 0.2. So that is the discount value. 20% of the bill is discount value. So after you calculate everything, you try to display the things that you have accepted and calculated. So you can say there item name. You can say item name as I name, handle. You can write rate that you have taken as rate, handle. You can display there quantity that you have accepted as QTY, and then you can display the bill that you have calculated. Bill equals to bill value, handle, and then you display the value of a discount that you have calculated as DIS, and so on. So this is how you are going to display all that you have accepted, all that you have calculated as per your choice. What you want to display is your choice over there. So then try to run the program. There you try to enter the item name first. Keyboard, I am saying the rate is 1000 and say the quantity that I want is 5. So you are going to get the item name, rate, quantity, bill, and the discount of 20% on the bill I get over here. So this is how you are going to write programs wherein you can understand how to perform the declaration of a variable, and then how to accept the data in a user-friendly manner, how to calculate how to calculate something that is required, and then how to display the data in a user-friendly manner. User-friendly manner is to say user-friendly program, which means the user should very clearly understand what is that he has to enter, what is that output he is going to get, and so on. So now that we know how to accept the data, how to declare the data, accept the data, calculate something, and display something, then we can go on to a statement wherein you can make some decisions within your program. So we will try to work with if and else statement, and I will try to continue this in my next video. Thank you.